Hello and welcome. This is the Zen community of Oregon, making the teachings of the Buddha Dharma accessible to support your practice. New episodes air every week.
A lot of people feeling a lot of things. I agreed with myself earlier that I wasn't going to be a person who got up here and said wise, consoling Dharma things to disappointed people. I figured you'd probably got that on Facebook, which I only cursorily went on for some reason, and the first thing that popped up was one of those consoling, here's how Buddhism tells you what to do in this situation. And I think I'm concerned that sometimes those kind of teachings at the wrong time are invalidating to what we're feeling. However you feel about what has transpired, I don't really have an assumption. So I agreed not to do that. I might say a few things before we just talk about this. I wanted to read something I wrote. I wrote a little spell, like a practice spell, and it's called Lighting the Incense of Unknowing. And I'll read it out loud, and you can see if it's resonant for you or if you feel that it applies to this moment. Lighting the incense of unknowing. I don't know what I don't know. This is an endlessness I choose to amplify for the joy of unburdening. I don't know what I don't know. This is an endlessness I choose to amplify for the joy of unburdening. Totality, a sky dark to me, pregnant with hidden stars, always withdrawn from certainty. I can't and don't know fully who I am in the eyes of others. I can't and don't know fully which facets of me I can or will see. I can't and don't know the whole picture of any being or situation. I see what can be seen with the eyes from where I see. Not from resignation, I voice and feel this truth. I don't fully know. Not from confusion, I voice and feel this truth. I don't wholly know. Not with indifference, I voice and feel this truth. I don't completely know. I don't know. The words fade and the openness after is laid bare. I don't know. Certainties that are not really certain fade away. I don't know. Now available for discovery, now resonant with potentials, now available to see, I don't know. So let's just talk about what might be coming up for you, what you're feeling, how you're being with what you're feeling. I might take the position of here's what Dharma has to offer about that. I might not. And again, you're not supposed to be feeling any particular way. It's interesting if sometimes I'm accompanying people who've lost someone in their life or they're getting divorced. And one of the difficult things that they encounter is that sometimes they think they're supposed to be feeling something because everyone's looking at them like, aren't you feeling so? And they're not. There's a multiplicity of feelings or perceptions about a particular crisis or thing going on. No, there's no one right way to be feeling. I think that's worth saying.
Yeah, I've been feeling weak today, and it's slippery, or like feels like it's like a wafting of incense, like smoke is just passing through my body, and how I've been being with that is really savoring the aliveness of feeling grief. It's not something that I feel every day, so it captures my attention and kind of yokes me into my body and into my heart. And the achiness that's there, it almost feels good in this quality of just like, shit, I'm alive. And yeah, that's how I've been practicing with it.
Thank you.
What your spell, so what you call it, brought me is, I had this feeling like I've been living in an uncontacted tribe, and I come out into the world and discover it's this place I've never been before, you know, that so many people, I just have no idea what most people in this country are feeling, and it's such a strange feeling to be that unconnected. You know, I feel like, oh, people are like kind of basically like me. And then I'm having this feeling like, I have no idea what. It's very disruptive. The magnitude of this.
Yeah.
Angry and scared.
Well, there's a danger of slipping into an assumption, of a caricature of why someone makes the choice they do there.
Right, that's right, I don't know.
We don't actually know. Yeah, there are definitely highly educated, well-informed people who make a choice that we disagree with.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about education.
I mean,
There's a lot of emotion. I would like to say a little more about, I don't know, not from a place of confusion.
well, I think you're describing it very clearly. You're encountering the fact that other people's consciousness and point of view is dark to you. And that in that darkness, most of the time we fill in the blank with how they ought to be feeling, or how they probably are feeling or thinking about things. But it is dark to us. It is hidden. And that's why we're surprised when people make certain choices in the world. And in a sense, that actually never goes away. That hiddenness, the interiority of others, is an ultimate withdrawal. It's kind of beautiful at the same time, actually, too, the mystery of that. But in this case, some of us are not so happy about.
I don't even know how I feel. Whether it's I'm not sure it. By the way, I don't know about other people, but I do come here to sit down and stuff.
We are saying Dharma stuff.
I went to the monastery last night. I'll tell you what happened this morning. We got up at 3:50 and we went there at 4:30. And the first thing, nobody had looked at a phone or anything. We had been there all night. We had no idea what the election result was. And Jogen's first instruction was, remember that the first tenet of Buddhism is impermanence. Oh, this is
Well, I have a dharmic thing that I'm contemplating, and I feel that this is another thing that it gets so easy to mishear it, and it becomes a source of pain rather than clarity. But I'll risk that happens all the time anyway, no matter what we say. I've been contemplating that nothing is only one thing. So let's say that you are right now crushed with despair. That might soften your heart such that you make the most meaningful friendship of this brief little life. That's just one example. Nothing is only one thing. It's kind of puritanical to think that something is 100% one thing. And sometimes that appears to us sooner or later. Right? Almost all the difficult times in my life, when I was in the thick of it, I didn't think there was anything pretty good, beneficial. It was just a shitstorm. And then in hindsight, it wasn't only one thing. So that's not a negation of what we're currently seeing, feeling, concerned about. It doesn't mean that those things aren't true. It means that a Zen way of looking at the world or of holding a perception is yes and. And the and has so much room.
I think I've been experiencing some amount of self-protection. This election has been way less emotional for me than the last two, and I've paid very little attention to what's been happening. And a lot of what you're saying, a lot of the Dharma flavored things you're saying right now resonate with the way I've been feeling, which feels pretty out of step with the way a lot of people around me are feeling. And I had this fear that there's something like spiritually bypassing going on here, where there's like actually some grief or fear I'm avoiding. I notice that I'm avoiding other people's fear and grief. And that makes me feel like something's going on. There's some kind of projection thing here where I'm like avoiding feeling with other people and being with other people and their feelings because I'm like avoiding. But a lot of what you're saying actually does feel true to me. This way of looking at things, which is a relatively, it's somewhat detached, or it's trying to understand and hold multiple perspectives at once, which in a way is sort of getting a bit far away from one perspective. Mm-hmm. So I feel confused about like how to engage with this, what has been the experience for me in the last couple of days, which is like noticing what's going on and like feeling a lot of like, okay, I think what's happening.
Yeah, lovely. I think this is a real, very contemporary koan, spiritual bypassing. And there's so many different elements to it. And one belief that gets embedded in this, is sometimes is hidden in this question of are we spiritually bypassing, is if other people are suffering, it's virtuous to suffer also, or right to suffer also. Which rubs up against the invitation of Buddhism to engage life freely without suffering. But these words, they're just words: suffering, empathy, spiritual bypassing. What are we actually pointing to in our direct experience? Am I evading feeling something? Or am I not wanting to face the gravity of a situation because it takes me off a hook somehow? I think those are good questions. That's all I have is questions that I happen to think are good. Yeah.
I think for me, you're really speaking to tonight to the most frightening aspect to me is the flattening of the other. Just the flattening, the deflation, the no more humanity. And my mom shared a story today that she was at the mechanic. She was in Florida, and there were two women there who were talking like pretty disparagingly about the first trans woman who was elected to the House of Representatives. And she walked over to them and she said, today's a really hard day for a lot of people. Actually, my son is trans and I'm really scared. And one of the women said, of course you are, you're the mother. And just that story has given me so much buoyancy today. That real, like, human to human, fleshed out person.
So can I clarify the story? So they had a kind of opinion or judgment about this person that was elected, but they were able to move into empathy when your mom said, my son is trans.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so, I think this place of not knowing, like, that is the process of, I don't know, you're a mother. Oh, you're afraid. And without knowing, we feel something. Mm-hmm. There's so much information there. Mm-hmm. And just wanting to share that because to me it's incredible what even like one story can offer a day like this. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you.
Today I've been feeling a lot of grief for the earth, just what's been happening to the earth and what will happen. And I've been feeling a lot of grief for my son, my 8-year-old son. And the world that he may live in someday. And I've been feeling very awake because what's been happening to the earth and the world that is clearly unfolding right now has already been happening and has already been unfolding. And I've just felt really awake to it today. And yeah, it's been a little hard to do anything else, but it's that feeling of wanting to hold on to clearly seeing, not knowing what will happen, but seeing what is already happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you.
the heaviness is so pervasive that my sense of smell has been there. And that's like one of the most grounding senses that I experience. I was talking on this store today, and this person had all this lavender, the houseless person had all this lavender, and I was talking to them, and the smell like hit me, like I was like, this is so amazing. That all this lavender was like on the side of the sidewalk, and that everyone's smelling it right now. And usually I feel like I'm struggling a lot with autism and ADHD and PTSD and all these things. And I can't seem to get my calendar or my day together in a way that ever functions. But somehow when things like this that are so heavy happen, I know exactly how my calendar is going to go. It dramatically simplified everything in a way that I've been putting a lot of effort into trying to experience. And I haven't been my best self today. Kind of snapped and kind of crouched on some old patterns and stuff, and I was just like, wow, I'm really human. And it's just very raw. You know, you've been talking about like naked. What was the like the undressed, naked self?
Yeah, sure. Yep.
I don't know. Self feels weird to say.
Yeah. Jogen said it. You can use it.
But everyone really made eye contact today too. I usually have a lot of trouble making eye contact because I have really severe trauma. But there was just like a big glow, like dewy connection in everyone's eyes that I saw today. And being trans and having a 6'5" sister who's trans, partner who's trans. I don't feel too great, but I really felt connected when we were all meditating together. In a way that like words can't touch, and I again like that subtlety just felt more palpable because of everything simplifying, because of just the reality of things. So that's my self-reminding.
Thank you. Well, time is getting on a little bit here. I think I will want to speak to practicing with this more explicitly as things unfold. If anybody wants this spell, you can email me. Because it's one thing to go, yeah, not knowing, that's a good idea. It's another thing to actually practice it when you find your mind contracting into hard certainty. That's a very different thing to practice it then. So, I'll give it to you. Okay. Yeah. And by the way, welcome and nice to meet you. Okay, so we're going to do the Bodhisattva vow, and this is about metabolizing everything we feel into energy to be of benefit in the best way that we know how at this moment and in future moments. This is all about metabolizing what we experience.
Thank you for listening to the Zen Community of Oregon podcast, and thank you for your practice. New episodes air every week. Please consider making a donation at zendust.org. Your support supports us.